Hey everyone, Jexie here. Welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about what it's like to get clean and watching other people who you use with not be able to get it. It's really hard once we get clean. We want everybody who's around us who's still using to get clean too. We want them to experience this joy with us of finding a new way to live, and unfortunately that's not always how it works. And so I thought I'd talk about those feelings a bit and how we can get through that. So addiction is a family disease, and so a lot of times we have other people in our family who are also addicts. A lot of times our whole group of friends, our circle of friends are addicts. A lot of times when we're dating somebody who's also an addict. So a lot of times when one person gets clean, it's not necessarily like a group decision, right? If one person hit bottom, one person got arrested, maybe they had to go to rehab, their family put whatever. Usually something causes one person to have to go get help. And when that help is successful for them, they now want to go and share what they've learned and convince everybody else to get clean too. And I remember wanting to do that. And unfortunately, just because we get clean doesn't mean that we now have the power to make other people get clean. And I think one of the hardest, most frustrating things in recovery is realizing no matter how much we try, we can't force other people in our lives who we love to also get clean. But what we can do is be an example of recovery and be there for when they're ready for help. They know who to turn to. I remember my sister, who is also in recovery, and she struggled for a while after I had gotten into recovery. And I won't tell her story because it's not mine to tell, but I worried a lot about her, like a great deal. And I remember it was probably about 2 years after I got clean, and I remember thinking, if she doesn't get this, she's not going to make it. And there was nothing I could do. Nothing. Today she's in recovery, right? Today she's got time in recovery, and it feels good. My sister and I are in this together, and it's a good feeling because I didn't know if that was going to happen, right? A lot of times what happens is we have friends that overdose. I still remember the first time I went to a 12-step meeting, outside of the rehab I was in. And I went there with a group of other people from my rehab. We had all kind of gotten out around the same time. And so we did meetings together for a while because it was just what we were comfortable with. And I went to a meeting and there was a girl there, and she was shaking, and she was wrapped in a blanket, and, she was on day 2 or 3 of withdrawal. And I had 35 days at this point or something around there, so it's not like I had been in for a long time. So and I said hello, we talked, and then she shared at the meeting. And what she shared was that 2 days before, so the meeting was on a Monday, so on Saturday, her and her fiance they were getting married that Sunday. So the day before the meeting, they were supposed to get married. And they used together the night before their wedding. And on Sunday morning, she woke up and he didn't. And she spent her wedding day knowing that the man she was supposed to marry that day had overdosed the night before in the bed next to her. And that story was told to me 7 years ago. And it still sticks with me in this heartbreaking way because it's not unique, right? It's not a unique story. I know lots of people who used with somebody and then they passed out, and then one woke up and the other didn't. The death stories are a lot, and everybody's got one. I don't know anybody in recovery who doesn't have some story of a friend that they lost, right? But this one hit me hard. I didn't know this girl, but she didn't even want to be in recovery. She just had no other options. She just lost everything. And she didn't know what to do, so she showed up in a recovery program. And like, and I think about how often, like, I'm in a meeting, either in person, online, and you know, you see, or even on YouTube in the comments, and you see someone share about the fact that they have 3 days, a week, you know, 40 days, whatever it is, and it gives me so much hope, because I don't know where you're at in your recovery, but I'm going to tell you this, and this is fact. This is not my opinion. You ask anybody in recovery, and they will tell you the same thing. Day 3 is much harder than year 3. Day 30 is much harder than having years clean. And the reason is because at the beginning, you're still waking up thinking about using. Your daily habits still are being changed so that you don't go out and use, right? Like, I'm at 6.5 years clean, and it doesn't mean that I don't need recovery. It doesn't mean that things don't happen, that I need to work a recovery program, right? Because things still come up. Things are still, you know, part of my life, but I don't wake up in the morning thinking about drugs anymore. Like, I don't go to bed at night, like, feeling sick. That doesn't happen, right? But at the beginning of recovery, like, that does happen. You're still working through these basic problems. And so I always, like, make sure people know, like, that newcomers in the program know, like, look, every day you've got, like, that's huge. And when you're in a recovery program, don't be afraid to share that. Raise your hand and say, I'm on day 5. Watch the room erupt in applause. Watch people come up to you after the meeting and be like, you're amazing. We give so much attention to the people that are just coming in, and there's a reason for that. Because we want everybody to make it. Once you start your journey on recovery, you want everybody who's suffering to join recovery too. We want to see everybody make it. And I've said this before in another video, we're like the only community online, but like ever, that's literally rooting for everybody else to be as successful as we are. There's no competition in recovery. We're not trying to be better than the next person. I'm not trying to like keep my place or keep my role in something, right? Like, no, like, I'm going to use whatever skill set that I have to help everybody I can possibly help to get to where I'm at. That's what's so amazing about recovery programs, is that, like, we want to reach out and help the other person. It's a group thing, right? Like, we have to help each other. I need help from all sorts of people, and I can help you. But it's a two-way street, right? That newcomer who's got 2 days clean reminds me that I need to be in this program, right? Like, I need to work a recovery program because I can't go back to that. I've worked too hard. I've come too far. I can't go through that again. And like, when I listen to people's stories about the hardships of their recovery, like, it reminds me, like, I don't want that to be my life today. I've got so much good in my life today. And so when we see other people still struggling, we want to just like grab onto them and hold them and tell them, like, it'll be all right. But we can't do that. We can't bring help to people who aren't ready for it. All we can do is lead life by example. Show your loved one the kind of life that you have by living each day clean. You know, just do the best that you can in your daily life, living clean. And when that person in your life who's still using is ready, they're going to know where to come. Make sure they know they're loved. Make sure they know, like, hey, if you ever need me, you know where I'm at. Because you know what? When that person hits their bottom and they're shaking and crying in a corner and they don't know what to do, they may just call you. And when they do, you'll know what to do. You'll know where to bring them. You'll know who to reach out for help to help support this person. I can't even imagine what it would be like if it was my child, right? My kids are still young, and I worry each day that at some point that's going to be a worry I have, right? That's one of the reasons I'm so open with my kids about addiction and recovery, because I want them to know that I'm always that person they can come to. And so my best suggestion for anybody who has a family member or a friend who's dealing with active addiction, first off, you're not going to be able to save them. You're not going to be able to convince them to get help. They may say yes to things that they don't mean because they don't want you to be disappointed, right? Don't push them. Everybody has their own journey. You just have to pray that their journey leads to help, right? Be an example. Be happy. Live the best life you can be. Show that recovery is worth fighting for. And then be there when they're ready. When they're ready for help and they call you, that probably was a big step. When they say, please help me, that was probably a huge step for them. And that doesn't mean you have to give them money or loan them your car or fly them out of state, right? Be there to listen. Offer your support. Share what you know works. And just take it day by day. We've all had to go through this feeling. And I know that for people watching my channel that aren't in recovery, you may know somebody in recovery who needs recovery, right? And you don't know how to reach them. Just let them know that you're open for when they're ready for help. There's plenty of resources, and all my videos have descriptions that list some of the resources in there. And of course, you can always send me a message if you're looking for something specific. If I know about it, I'll send you information. You know, I'm not really a pro at like hooking up rehabs or things like that. That's not really what I do. I'm just a member of a 12-step program, but the help is there. Just don't give up. Just don't give up. If they're still breathing, there's still hope. And that's it. I also, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it wasn't too dark. I don't know, I was listening to a lot of music the other day and it got me back in this place of remembering what it was like when I got clean and I wanted to see somebody else succeed. So I thought I'd just share those feelings with you guys. There is a playlist now on my channel of recovery songs or addiction songs that I put them all in a playlist. I know there's a lot more and I couldn't think of them at the time. I always do this. I think about things and I forget to write it down. So if there's other recovery songs that you know that aren't in the playlist I made, comment them down below. Let me know and I'll add them to the playlist. I think it's nice to have like a recovery playlist. We always talk about songs about that. So yeah, sorry there's no trivia tonight. I am getting a webcam. YouTube changed its policies, so there's no more mobile live streaming and I do all my filming on my phone. So my laptop camera is garbage, and if I tried to live stream on there, it would just be a hot mess. So I'd rather wait. I have a webcam coming. I'll have it on Friday. I'll hook it up. I'll get it all going. And I have a super fun trivia game for next Wednesday. Like I'd rather push it off and have it go well because it's so much fun. Like I had the best time coming up with the questions. So thank you guys all so much for watching my video. I hope you guys have a great week. And just remember, feel free to reach out to me for anything. I answer every comment, everyone, even strange ones. Sometimes it takes me a couple days, but I always get back to people. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Please, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel. It helps a huge, huge way. And yeah, love you guys. I don't know what I did there, but whatever. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.